And welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have a really simple and delicious basic recipe for you. This is our twice fried French fries. And we make them a little bit chunkier, slightly bigger pieces than you'd find in your typical, for instance, bag of frozen French fries or anything like that. But really, really simple, delicious recipe. And let's get going. We'll start with our ingredients. So obviously we're going to start with some potatoes. We're going to use just some very neutral vegetable oil and a big old cast iron Dutch oven to do our frying in. So very, very simple recipe, obviously. So we have cut these, we've washed these potatoes, and we're now going to cut them. And again, we want to cut them a little thicker. You see Chef Caleb here, he's showing you sort of the typical size, but we're making them a little thicker. We want them to be those big kind of like steak fries. However, potato is different. You will end up with some smaller pieces for sure. No matter how you do it, you're always going to end up with some smaller pieces around the edge, which is fine. They get crispy faster. And there's two different ways you can cut these. So you can just cut them, as you see along the lengthway here. However it looks, you want to divide them up. You can cut it however you like. You can see here we got pretty close to nice square fries. Good big thick pieces. Or if you want them to be a little bit more even, and of course once they're cut we're going to put these in some water. If you want them to be a little more even, you can put them, cut down the middle and then cut each side in half. Now that is less likely to get you nice square pieces, but they're still going to get you those nice thick cut fries. So we're going to soak these for quite some time actually. We do want to sort of wash some of the starch off and make sure that they're well hydrated and get them cooled down as well, and nice cold temperature in there as well. And then we're going to get our fry oil ready. So we have our candy thermometer and deep fry thermometer here. It's a little too shiny actually to read direct on, even in the same room, so the camera really has no chance. So we're going to use our fry oil here. This is just a very neutral, plain vegetable oil. Whatever your preferred fry oil is, usually a high smoke point neutral oil is preferred. And you don't want to overfill your Dutch oven or whatever you're using to deep fry. We have this nice basket from a previous deep fryer. You don't want to overfill it because it will foam up while these are cooking. So once we have soaked these for some time, we are going to take them out. We're going to get a lot of that extra water off. So shake it off or even wick it off with your hand. And then we're going to put it on some paper towel. We do not want a whole lot of water going into that deep fry oil because it will spatter, make a huge mess, is dangerous, and we want to avoid that as much as we can. So we're going to go as far as to gently pat these dry. Now, we're not going to be breading these or adding any flour or anything to these. These are just plain potato French fries, and we're going to fry them twice. So our first time is at a lower temperature. We're just going to cook them until they're soft all the way through. So we're going to take our fries and put them in a hot oil. This is coming in at around the 325 degree Fahrenheit range for heat. And you can see they're cooking quite nicely in there. You may need to give them a stir with a wooden spoon just to make sure they don't stick together or cook together in the hot oil. And then once they are nice and soft, or they look a little soft and they're getting a little bit of color, we're going to take one out and just give it a little poke with a fork. If it's good and soft, they are ready. So we don't want to get them really dark and crispy just yet. This is just basically par cooking them. So we're cooking them first at a lower temperature. And here is why we got this basket. It makes it a little easier to get everything out of the oil all at once. You can, of course, just use your tongs to get them out. That is just fine. So you want to drain as much oil as you can out of there. And we're going to put these on some fresh paper towels. Again, we want to drain them a little bit and let them rest a bit before we start our second cooking So here you go. Here's our, they've all rested. They're a little bit soft. You can see they're cool and they're nice and soft. And these are now going to go in for, they're cooked all the way through. Now that they've cooled a bit, they're going to go in at a much higher temperature. So these ones should be going in around 375, much, much hotter. And now we're going to cook them until they're nice and crispy on the outside. So they've got that great hot temperature, much, much higher. And they are going to be nice and fluffy on the inside because they're already cooked while they're getting crispy on the outside. And you can see they get a lot of really great color in that super, super hot oil. And then you want to drain as much as you can out of there. And then back onto our paper towel. So let them drain for a little while. While they're still hot, though, we do want to season them. So whatever you like to season your fries with. I know a lot of people like a little bit of Cajun seasoning or something like that on there. We just prefer plain salt and a little bit of pepper. Definitely salt at least. So a little bit of kosher salt on there. You definitely want to season them while they are still warm. You don't want to season them before they hit the oil because the salt will denature the oil. Will make things a little bit messy. And yeah, I mean, serve them with your dip of choice. We made actually some spicy mayo after this, and some people like ketchup better. Some people just dip them in mayo, whatever you prefer. That's up to you. But these are delicious, really, really simple, and we hope you'll enjoy them. So if you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.